Hello, my name is Rich. I'm the Executive Director of the Gospel Rescue Mission in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and this is Lesson 1 of Time Management. Now, time is more valuable than money. And the reason I say that is that if I lost $20, I lose $1,000, whatever amount of money that is, I can actually earn that back. I can maybe find it. There's a lot of ways I might be able to get that money back. But if I lose 20 minutes, 1,000 minutes, I can never get that back. Even if I just lose 10 minutes, I have lost that forever. I can never restore that. So it becomes important that we manage time. Most of us live a life where we allow time to manage us. I never have enough time, never have enough time. Well, the truth is we need to take control of our schedule and our personal planning so that way we can be an effective person in everyday life. That's how we can succeed. So today I'm going to go through some basic concepts, and then the second video will also cover some things. So here we go. First of all, I want to encourage us to live life as if we were driving a car. Now, if I drive a car in third gear all the time, or fourth gear all the time, first of all, it's going to be really slow to get started. I'm going to have some trouble getting going. But eventually, if I never get it out of fourth gear or out of third gear, we're going to talk what that looks like. It's going to burn out a lot faster. I'm going to wear that down. It's the same thing with our lives. There's a lot of people who just work nonstop. The time they get to bed, wake up to the time they go to bed, they're just working. Well, my friends, that's just not a way to live a life. You can't live that long. So we need to find a way to move into our day, move throughout that day, accomplish some great things, and then move out of that day and get a restful night of sleep. So we're going to start off just by talking about what are the 5 gears. We're going to talk, actually there's 5 gears plus reverse. We're going to talk about those in this first video. So our first gear is all about us. These are things we do to take care of ourselves. So when you first wake up, you need to take care of yourself. Don't check your email. Don't get on that Facebook or some other social media. Don't worry about other people initially. When you wake up, it has to be all about you, moving yourself into the day. So when I wake up, I just got to go over some of my routines, my morning routine. As I wake up, I move out and I drink 16 ounces of water. I have a trainer that encouraged me to do that a while back. And so I drink that first thing every morning, and then I drink a cup of coffee. And then I stop and I journal a little bit. You know, what are my thoughts? What are the things that came to me over the night? You know, maybe some dreams, some things that disturbed me throughout the night. But then I'm going to move into reading my Bible. Quiet reading would do. If you're not a Bible reader, that's fine. I think you're losing out if you do that. But the truth is, you can just do any kind of quiet reading as far as this time management goes. Something quiet that's beginning to feed your mind, beginning to feed your soul, kind of get things rolling a little bit. So I read the Bible. I have a plan where I want to read Psalms every month. So I read 5 Psalms every day, and I get through most months pretty easily, except for February. I kind of get messed up. I have to read a little extra then. And then Proverbs. I want to read a proverb every day, so I can do that most months. Some months I need to double up at the end of the month, but I can do that. So Psalms every month, Proverbs every month, and I want to read through the Scriptures, all of it, 3 times a year. And that's actually not as difficult as it seems. You know, you just add how many pages are in your Bible, divided by 365. That tells me how many pages I need to read every day to stay on pace with that. So that's kind of how I get going. I start reading through that. And then I have some specific prayer time. I also am journaling myself. I'm evaluating my life. I have select questions or certain criteria that I look at. That's a whole different lesson. We can talk about it another time. But I go through this pattern. And then I will go out to my elliptical, work out for about 20 minutes, walk through my woods if the weather permits. I'll do a quick walk through the woods. It's usually about a mile walk, and I'll do that just one time. So it's about 15 minutes at most, 15-20 minutes. And so you do that. And during this time, I'm also doing some deep thinking. I'm meditating on my day. I'm kind of getting rolling into it. So some other things that go on. I have some affirmations, some scripture memory I do. So what you want to do is establish some daily habits. Those daily habits are often called a ritual. The morning ritual is what a lot of people call it. So I kind of go through and kind of get myself going in this way. So that's the first gear. I'm taking care of myself. You'd probably say, well, that's selfish. Well, the truth is, if you've ever been on an airplane, you know that they will say that if the cabin loses pressure, the oxygen things come down, you put it on yourself first so that way you can take care of other people. If I don't put the oxygen mask on first, I'm not capable, not able to take care of other people. So this is how we last and we endure through all the challenges of life by starting off in first gear and doing it right. Again, those are some of the things you're going to do. So to review, quiet reading, meditation, prayer, deep thinking, exercise, AM, those morning rituals. And you can add anything to those AM rituals. Some of the things that I add in a little bit later in the morning, I floss, I drink apple cider vinegar, I eat a healthy breakfast every morning. Those are all pieces of first gear, taking care of yourself first. And then I move into second gear. Second gear is all about your friends and family, those close connections. These aren't sporadic people you just know. These are small talk. It's small family stuff, but it's those intimate relationships. So I will talk with my wife. Sometimes if she's ready to get up, I'll get her a cup of coffee. We'll chat a little bit. We'll talk about our schedules, our plans. Sometimes there's more intimate stories and things that are going on, what's happening with our children, whatever that is. More deliberate and focused conversations often take place during that. But it's all about her, connecting with her, reconnecting after a night. As we're sleeping, we're close to each other, but we're not together. We're individuals. So I move from myself to those more personal relationships. If my boys are up, I'm visiting with them. If my daughter's awake, I'll talk with her a little bit. But this is connection with family and friends, those close relationships. And then the third gear is what happens when I show up at work. Third gear is those work-related conversations, conversations with coworkers and partners. Meetings that I would go to throughout the day are typically third gear sort of things. These aren't intimate, personal friends, but they might be friends. They might be moving in that direction to become more personal friends. But we go to these meetings and the focus is on business. Even if I am friends with them, the focus is on business during this third gear. And it can include things like social media and other forms of communication. But really, this is about connecting with people. Other people beyond my family. So you can kind of see we're widening the circle. We start with ourselves and then our personal families and close relationships, and then less personal, intimate relationships. And by building ourselves, first gear, ourselves, second gear, family, third gear, other people, particularly work-related sort of things, we actually are building the momentum for the day. We're building this up, and it seems like it takes a long time, but really it happens pretty quickly, and you actually get into full speed pretty rapidly. And then fourth gear is all about the tasks. Those are the jobs. That's when you're checking your email, your Facebook, your anything that's business related. Checklists are really good here. One of the things I like to do, and we'll cover this more in next week's video, is just brainstorming what all do I need to do. And doing that once a week. What are all the things I need to do? I just brainstorm. I write it all down. And I write it without even pulling my pen off the paper practically. I'm scribbling it all out. Checklists are really good there. The fourth gear can also be done in groups. You're doing a group project. Do that all together. Administrative sort of tasks. And oftentimes, fourth gear is a result of those meetings you had in third gear. So you had those meetings, get you some tasks, and then you move into fourth gear. A lot of times I will sit in a meeting and I'll think of all the things I need to do. I write it down, put it in a checklist, and I take care of it when I'm ready to move into fourth gear. Now you can go back and forth. You can move from fourth gear and then move into a meeting, third gear, and then right back to fourth gear in between meetings. Sometimes I even have to come back down to second gear because my wife will call or my children will contact me with something. You move back into those gears, but you move delicately back and forth between those gears. And then fifth gear. Fifth gear is that focused work. So when I'm writing a book or I'm developing a blog article, I am focused. I close the shades in my office. I have untouchable days. I like to do that once in a while, where there's no email, no phone call, no media at all, and it's just me, and I'm focused. I'm focused on whatever task that is, very deliberate. And this is really the gear. If you can get into this gear in a healthy way and not live in this gear, obviously, you have to go through the others, but you get to this gear and stay there for a little bit, you do whatever's there and then come back down, this is where you change the world. You make a deep impact. And again, this has to be deliberate. You got to shut off your phone, email, social media, and create those untouchable days. And the final gear I'll talk about in this video is reverse. Now, reverse is one of those gears that we don't like to go into. We don't like to go backwards. But sometimes we've made a mistake. We've said the wrong thing, done the wrong thing, sent the wrong email. we made a mistake, we need to reverse and go make things right. So maybe we blew through second gear, we need to stop and talk to our spouse. Boom, got to go back, reverse, go right back into that and fix those things. Make things right. Now there's a difference between ask for forgiveness and I'm sorry. Now asking for forgiveness gives them the right to say, no, you've hurt me too much. You're going to have to do more than just say I'm sorry. I think about when my kids were little and they did something wrong, they said, I'm sorry. They were sorry they got caught. They weren't sorry they did anything wrong. They didn't realize, and we had to talk through, well, what made this wrong? What makes you feel sorry? And we would work through that process. So those are the 5 gears. That's part of time management, to start to think through, how are you going to live your day? First gear, take care of yourself. Second gear, close family, intimate friends. Third gear, that's the more widespread net of those other people, other contacts, business partners, co-workers, those things interacting in your life. Fourth gear is tasks, very focused on getting deliberate things done. And fifth gear is where you're changing the world. You're deliberately focused on a particular task, something bigger than just a check the box task. We're talking writing books, writing music, artwork, developing a new project, whatever that is. That's very focused work. And then reverse, asking for forgiveness. Well, this has been video 1 of time management. I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you take that quiz and move on. Thank you very much for participating.